46 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 46 is also brought to you by Humana, serving the community. Please stop in at 1397 South Loop Road on the corner of Loop and Highway 160.
Tonight on News 46, family and friends ask for justice when a teenager dies. And an investigation is launched over a trailer fire. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Tonight we speak to family and friends about a teenager's life and death. It's Monday, April 9th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. 17-year-old Amber Hall has died. Deputies and medics were dispatched to her home following a 911 call about an unresponsive female. News 46 spoke to her uncle and a family friend after Amber's mom and her mom's boyfriend of 3 weeks are arrested in connection with the tragic death.
Heather has been a friend of mine for about 3 years. I actually met her through a post that I had posted on Facebook, needing diapers for my daughter. She also has a son who has a disability, and I had ran out, and she offered to, give me a few to get me through till I got my shipment. And we developed a friendship. We helped each other out. Her older daughter became my daughter's babysitter when I needed someone for a few hours. CPS was involved in Heather's life. The kids had been removed from her custody on several occasions. Most recently, the father had them for several months, and then she got them back. And there's been incidents with the police since the time she got the kids back till that final one. More than 5 times the police have been to that home.
She's always had Amber ever since Amber's been old enough to watch herself. Basically, she would make her watch the kids. Always clean the house. Heather was just one of those ones that would just sit in her room on her bed and do nothing.
Did you ever talk to her about it?
I have, but she's always like, it's my life, my kids, I'll do what I want kind of attitude.
Her older daughter is the one that just recently passed away, 17-year-old. What's her name?
Amber Hall.
She passed away recently, they believe, from a drug overdose.
Yes, that's what we've been told. We're not sure. I don't personally know what what she overdosed on. But I did not know Amber to be a drug user. So it's very concerning that, she OD'd, there with her mother and her mother's boyfriend. They've been arrested in connection with it. And she was such a wonderful girl, so sweet, had so much potential, and now she's gone.
She was always the sweetest person, always there to help out, do whatever she can. My daughter's really devastated because they were only 3 days apart. Yeah, Amber is actually 3 days older than my daughter, and they were like best friends.
From what I understand, from what I've heard from the report, that the call to 911 was quite delayed because the mother was in fear of going to jail instead of in fear for her daughter's life.
So you were very close to Amber. What kind of person was she?
She was just the sweetest person. She was always, she was like a mom to those kids because so often Heather, made her, watch her siblings all the time. And that's why, she liked to get out and come watch my daughter because it was just one kid. The house wasn't a mess. She wasn't having to deal with, all, 5 or 6 other siblings. And we had even talked, she had talked when she turned 18 that, I have a 5th wheel that she could have possibly moved into and she could help me a little bit with my daughter and get away from that environment. I just want justice for Amber. And, I'm thankful that the other kids are out of that now, but this didn't need to happen. Her only job was to protect her children and to keep them safe, and she failed miserably.
Fire Chief Scott Lewis updates us on a structure fire that occurred yesterday afternoon.
The immediate report was as there was heavy black smoke in the area in Atkinson and Blag, but there wasn't a specific address provided, nor was there a specific indication of what was on fire. It ended up being a manufactured dwelling that was at the rear of the property. It was sitting idle for approximately 6 to 7 months, It had been previously used as a residence. However, there had been no power to it, and they were actually taking materials out of the trailer prior to the fire. There was no utilities of any type. There was no secondary generation. There was no solar. There was no regular VEA power. And it's my understanding there was no septic or anything connected to it.
So how did the fire start, do you know?
Well, that's just it. Our investigation's revealing that it's suspect in nature, and we're following up on some leads with the sheriff's office, and hopefully we'll be able to conclude that with some kind of a knowledge as to what actually happened. On arrival, crews found it to be fully involved. It was extending into the trees as well as some nearby shade covers on an adjacent property. Crews did a really good job. It quickly extinguished that fire with no further extension, but there was damage to both sides of the property line. We're getting a lot of information from a lot of different people as far as where the fire was, and it was actually sandwiched almost between 2 or 3 separate properties. And so the best access was actually either off of Sharon or off of Blagg Road versus where we were initially told that we went.
And so was there any delay in notification, do you know?
I don't think there's as much a delay notification, but it was just getting relevant information as to where the fire was and what the nature of the fire was.
And Carolyn Hawk has been recently arrested for not returning a friend's car.
Carolyn Jean Hawk has been arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle, methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia at the location of Oyster and Waukegan here in Pahrump. According to the declaration of arrest on March 22nd, deputies observed a small red four-door sedan parked in the desert area just south of the intersection of Oyster and Waukegan. It appeared that the driver of the vehicle was slumped over inside the car and all the lights were on. Deputies approached the vehicle and made contact with the driver, who was identified as Carolyn Hawk. They advised that the vehicle had been reported stolen out of the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Hawk advised police that she had actually borrowed the vehicle from her friend, but never returned it. Deputies say that they found a small glass pipe inside the vehicle and also methamphetamine. Police say that Hawk admitted to using methamphetamine and in fact had meth inside her purse. Deputies did a search of Hawk's purse and there was allegedly 2 small baggies and 1 small glass container containing a white crystalline substance. Hawk was placed under arrest and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Another arrest and an accident right after this break.